So yeah, we've just got back to the car because it's absolutely thrown it down outside of Bramall Lane. We're all absolutely soaked through. Sickening 90+10 penalty kick. What is it?
Disputed.
Yeah, we've come back to try and keep dry. We're absolutely soaking wet. Paul, let's go to you first. How are you feeling after that, mate?
Well, it's always a big kick in the teeth, isn't it, when you concede a last-minute winner, especially in those circumstances. But going back to the start, really, the first half, I enjoyed watching us play. Again, we've said that a lot after on these post-match videos. I am enjoying watching us play a lot more. Thought we looked fluid, moving through the thirds. Thought we were building up well from the back. Kalajic was linking up well with the other forwards. The one thing that we didn't do is going at half-time at least a goal up, and perhaps we didn't create that real clear chance that we should have. But
trying to pass the ball in the net after time again.
Yeah, it looked good, but it just lacked that cutting edge, and ultimately that's ended up costing us.
Costing us big time. I mean, you've been talking about the penalties. We're going to come to you guys in a second, but like you've even had a Villa fan that's come and said, what's he said?
Yeah, well, I mean, Gary Lineker used the phrase a stinker of a decision, and that's 4 now in 11 matches, and I can't think of any that have gone the other way. But it's no use just playing the victim mentality. I don't think that's really serving us well. We've got to focus on what we can control, which is putting the game to bed when you're on top. So I don't want to talk about the decision really, because
we've been talking all the way up from the Bramall Lane, though, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm just going to sound like a broken record. I mean, very quickly, I can see why it's been given by the referee as an on-field decision, but I don't know why he's not even been sent to the monitor to look at it.
When was the last time we saw the ref go to the monitor?
Exactly. I mean, to me, from the replay, it looks like the player, Baldock, is on his way down before Fabio Silva's touched him, so he's conned the referee in that case. So why is he not being sent to the monitor? I have no idea.
Chris, your thoughts coming out of that, mate?
Well, Paul made a good point walking back up the road, just that, you know, strikers shouldn't be in the penalty area defending corners because they're a liability, aren't they? You know, whether it's a penalty or not, he shouldn't be touching him, should he? But as I say, I agree with Paul. I'm enjoying watching the Wolves play at the moment, but second half performance was nothing like the first half.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. They just did not seem up for it like the Sheffield United players.
Well, they did have the better the second half. Kev, good to see you come all the way from Scarborough today.
Yeah.
You know, what's your thoughts on the game?
My thoughts are a very good first half. Should have at least scored 2 goals. But then second half, reserve team came out. Can't put 2 passes together. Pass into opposition. No good. Plus, I don't want to mention him, but I will. These damn good referees don't exist in the Premier League.
And can I just say that Kevin is a lifelong Blackburn Rovers fan. He's not biased to the Wolves whatsoever, but he's seen with his own eyes today the refereeing, the shocking refereeing.
Terrible.
We have to put up within the Premier League.
And you guys have been friends for nearly 40 years, haven't you? Let's the story of the game anyway. Wolves came out really, really strong in the first half, totally dominant, 60% possession. Sheffield United had 1 shot, no shots on goal. You know, we've had 2 or 3 half chances, we haven't taken them, couldn't break them down. They were almost seemed to be playing a low block. They were standing off us and letting us play. Second half, Wolves came out, ran out. We had a huddle as well, thought positive. But it's like they've been told, Sheffield United, stand off them in the first half, and at the start of the second half, let's close them down, let's see how they deal with it. And we panicked. We kept giving the ball away. There was warning after warning after warning. They were shooting on sight. You know, we weathered the storm for the first 20 minutes, started to get back into the game. And then, you know, he brings off Tommy Doyle, who's done all right, and the Sheffield United fans have given him a lot of appreciation. He brings on Boubacar again, and he almost seems like a poison chalice. Crystal Palace away. There's a few games he's kind of like Boubacar, but again, 1 minute later, it's a goal. It's not his fault. It seems like it's a ricochet. I haven't seen it back, and it's bounced back. Wolves defenders are chasing him down. The guy's literally getting chased down. It's a wonder strike. It's a great strike. Sarr gets his hand to it. It's the underside of the bar. It's going in. It's 1-0. The Sheffield United fans come alive. Great for them. We're making changes, you know, and we huff and we puff and we start pushing them back again. Bellegarde hits on the pivot. We have a little bit of luck. I think it might have gone in anyway. Took the deflection. But if you shoot, you get deflections and you score. 1 each. You know, 6 minutes of added time. We should be the team that's going on to force the win. And again, we create our own problems again. The corner that before the goal, the fell throw from Aitnori gives the ball straight back to them. They throw it up the field. They get a corner. From the corner, they get the penalty. Fabio Silva, he's had a chance to header it. What do they say? Don't let the ball drop in the area. It drops. It's chaos. Paul, you hit the nail on the head. You feel like Fabio Silva's trying too hard. He's come on in the first 10 seconds and got a yellow card.
Yeah, and some referees might have looked at that as an even worse than a yellow card. Their players were really upset about that challenge. Sometimes I think when you've been out of the team and you come back in, you coming in with a point to prove, and rather than playing your natural game, you're coming in and you may be trying too hard, and then you do stuff that you wouldn't normally do, and mistakes are made in that way. But I think you do have to give credit to Sheffield United in the second half, because it's like a switch was flicked at half time in terms of their approach. They were much more front foot. They were pressing us a lot higher up the pitch, and this made it very difficult for us. But another point I'd like to make is the conditions. I know you can say that it's the same for both teams, but in the last kind of 15-20 minutes of the game, there was standing water on the pitch, and it's got to affect our passing game, which was so slick in the first half. It's got to be a leveller, I think. So that's something to also put into the mix.
Well, yeah, the weather conditions really, if you like Sheffield United at home, they played, you can't take anything away from the Blades, and you've got to be happy for them as fans. They've suffered. If you're a football fan in Sheffield this year, 23 games from both teams without a victory. Wednesday got one last week, the Blades have got one this week. But you have to come back. Fabio Silva's back defending Wang last week. Both, apparently, we watched it back just, it doesn't look like a penalty again. And this, if you're a Sheffield Blades fan, you don't care. You're going to be sour grapes. But Wolves, Man United, Luton, who did we play last week? Newcastle last week, and then this week. And if you've got Lineker and all of the Sky pundits that are saying he's already going down, why are VAR not overturning that or getting the ref to have another look at it? It just doesn't make sense. And it's this is 4 times it's happened to us in 11 games.
Yeah.
When we had a penalty? Last had a penalty?
No, I think the system needs looking at, because referees are mates together, and it's very hard to say to your mate, look, I think you've made a mistake, especially when it's someone more senior. So last week, Anthony Taylor's a senior FIFA referee, isn't he? And was it Jared Gillett on the VAR? It's very hard for him to say effectively to someone who's more superior than you've made a mistake. So I think they need to look at that in terms of how they come to the decisions.
Well, yeah, there won't be another apology, and we'll have to see. We just watched the bit back with Scott. Anyway, if you're a Blades fan, well done. I know you've suffered a lot. We know what it's like to suffer as a Wolves fan. It was good to go to the Bramall Lane today. I do feel I think you're going to struggle. I think we're all saying this season you'll probably end up going down, but you showed some fight today, so fair enough. Reminds me of Huddersfield. When they won 3 games all season and they beat us twice.
Home and away, one.
Home and away, so you might get another win against us. Anyway, Gaff, your performance rating and your LEAMORE Windows Man of the Match.
Performance rating, I'd give us 7 in the first half.
Yeah.
4.5 in the second half, I think.
Overall,
5.5.
a 5.5, and
Not
your man
good
of the
enough,
match,
really,
your
so.
LEAMORE Windows Man of the Match.
Well, I thought Mario Lamina played well. He was getting up and down the pitch. He was busting a gut, trying to get forward a couple of times.
Yeah.
Mario Lamina. I can't really think of anybody else that stood out for me today.
Okay. Paul, performance rated.
Yeah, you'd split it in 2 again, wouldn't you, with the first half and the second half? But overall, I'd have to give it a 5, because we've come to a team who's got 1 point from 9 matches and not created enough. My man of the match, Lamina was a driving force in midfield, but I'd probably say Cunha. I think he was the one that looked sharpest. He was the one that looked most likely to do some damage. And for those that weren't at the game today, you wouldn't have seen at the end. Fabio Silva obviously very upset at the end of the game.
He was distraught.
And Cunha was the one that went over to him and put his arm around him and took him down to the Wolves fans to try and give him some support. So shows his leadership qualities as well, I think, with that.
Yeah. Kev, you got performance rated?
I would agree with you, 5 overall. It's got to be after first half and second half difference.
And have you got a LEAMORE Windows man of
No,
the match?
I'm not going to nominate anybody as man of the match.
Yeah, that gives it me. I really don't know who to give it to today, to be honest. I'm going to, the first half, I think you're right, probably give it a 7. The second half, I thought we were very, very poor. Probably give it a 4. So in the middle, that's a 5.5. You know, he's made a really good case for Kuna, and he swayed me. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Kuna. You know, as regards to Fabio Silva, every Wolves fan have really wanted him to be a success. You know,
you feel sorry for the boy,
I
don't you?
I do feel like he came on to try and get a goal, and yeah, maybe he's trying too hard. I mean, Paul is works in sports psychology. You know, you were talking on the way up about, you know, how that could be affecting him. But, like, is it ever going to work out for Fabio Silva, or do you just think it's just not meant to be at Wolves?
I mean, it's tough, isn't it? We've seen glimpses of it. He is still young. He hasn't had an extended run in the team for a long time. But I suppose it's hard to keep justifying the faith. I thought he was really poor at Palace. Missed a big chance at Everton. And ultimately, he's behind Kalajic, he's behind Cunha. He's probably third choice number 9, isn't it, at the moment? So he probably does need to go back out on loan and maybe try again, but maybe he's running out of chances somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just say, obviously, we missed Pedro Neto. Obviously, we had Pedro Neto on the pitch today.
I think we'd absolutely all over him down that right-hand side.
We'd have won the game, wouldn't we? Anyway, congratulations if you're a Sheffield fan. You know,
yeah.
we're Wolves fans. We're disappointed. Obviously, we've got absolutely soaking wet. We've lost. I'm giving you guys your first win. It's typical Wolves. We'll beat Man City. We'll go and lose here, and probably next week we'll beat Tottenham, because that's just how we roll. Yeah. Anyway, from all of us here, make sure you smash a like if you enjoyed the video. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell. There'll be a match vlog coming, of course, of the day, and of course the international fan reaction, and we will have extra time. The final word on the weekend's action Sunday night. Until the next one, from all of us here, it's a very wet
always Wolves.
Sheffield, always Wolves.
Always Wolves.